You're chosen for a reason to be lonely. You're chosen for a reason to be isolated. See, loneliness is super important to the growth of the chosen. Immersing yourself in your truth. No masks, no dictators, no relationships, no things that you can count on to be there. Just you, the raw you, right? And what you come to find out about yourself are some things that you didn't even know. Things that you need to carry out your mission.
We're having the uncomfortable conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, what up, G Code Society? This is G, owner of X28 Fitness, the Loft Athletic Club, two companies I've built, multi-million-dollar companies I've built in the past. My goal here on YouTube is to help you get to the best version of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, tapping into that God space, what God has for you, raising your energy and helping you elevate to the next level. That's the G code. But I want to talk about solitude and being on your own and being isolated and why it's super important for your growth. There's been many periods in my life where I've been in isolation, solitude. And these have all been building blocks to the person I've become today. I feel like every single person should spend at least maybe, let's say 3 months, maybe 6 months completely to themselves. No distractions, no relationships, no, things that are, that you do on the weekend. Just literally super immersed in yourself, getting down to yourself, to your core, and kind of figuring out who that person is and what they truly are. I live by a quote. I believe that if you don't do it, then God will isolate you so you can get yourself together. At some point in your life, it may seem that you lose friends and relationships, but a better you is worth more. And that happened to me, especially when you're chosen. I believe that to be true if you're chosen for it. A lot of people may not go through isolation, but if you're chosen for it, you're chosen for a reason to be lonely. You're chosen for a reason to be isolated. See, loneliness is super important to the growth of the chosen. Immersing yourself in your truth. No masks, no dictators, no relationships, no things that you can count on to be there. Just you, the raw you, right? And what you come to find out about yourself are some things that you didn't even know. Things that you need to carry out your mission, the mission of truth, not the mission of how much money am I going to make and what does the next bill look like? Not the mission of who am I to Instagram and who am I to YouTube? Who am I to the public? No, the inside mission of who you are to yourself and what does that energy exude to the world, right? And how do you get there? How do you calm the restlessness of trying to figure out why are you here? How do you calm the restlessness of just being a human? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And sometimes we get so immersed in our human experience that we don't even know what it's all about. What's the point of it, right? That's what the loneliness is for the chosen. And they're supposed to teach those things, right? I've been through my periods. I've had periods of isolation, 3 months, 6 months, no contact with people, maybe just business associates that I needed to get things done. I've been in periods with no dating. Right now, I'm in a period right now. I haven't dated almost 2 years, you know what I'm saying? No women, no anything, just closer to myself, God, meditation, grounding, and really getting to that next level of myself because it's super important that you understand yourself. A lot of people go through their entire life and their whole life becomes predicated on everything external and nothing internal that's coming from them, right? So I'm gonna ask you a question, right? I had to ask myself this question, because it's gonna get to a point in your life, are you willing to walk through the door that is meant solely for you to fit through, right? A lot of us, what we try to do is we want to be the hero of the world, right? And we want to save everyone. We want to save this person because it actually kind of satisfies us, it gives us purpose. But it's going to get to a point in your life where you're going to be no good to the world until you rescue yourself, right? That's going to only get you so far. And for some, it gets you super far in terms of what the world thinks. For me, it got me super far. I was building businesses. My businesses hadn't hit millions, right? I got to the next level in things. I was getting written up in publications. People knew my name. I had a large social media following, but I still hadn't rescued myself, right? And my whole world was predicated on those things. You know, now I had become super, what you call personally developed. I did develop, I meditated, I read books, I did all those things. I'm self-made. I got to where I was at. Now, I'm not gonna say that wasn't an accomplishment. But then it had to get to a point where, who is G without those things, right? Like, who is he? Because God gave me some gifts that allowed me to build super fast. To be honest and to be super transparent, I'm like lazy in business. If I really gave as much time as I gave figuring out myself to business, man, I'd be super out of here. I probably wouldn't be making this YouTube video. I probably still would, because this is what I love to do. I found out this is what I love to do. This is my gift. This is what I'm here for, right? To provide these things, these experiences that I've been through. And it's going to get crazy. And it's going to get to a point where when you start to do what's best for you in solitude, and you normalize and know, and you normalize getting to the depths of yourself to figure out how you want to move in your God-given aura and destiny, people will become offended. A lot of people won't like it. And you're going to have to be able to come to your own rescue at the risk of public approval. Like, that was one of the biggest things that helped me through my journey of solitude, is understanding that this is my rescue for myself. Because it's going to get to a point where a lot of this world becomes soulless and lackluster. And without God, and without understanding God internally and not externally, the world becomes soulless. It becomes super soulless. Speaking to somebody that was depressed in a penthouse, a couple penthouses, right? What does it mean? What does it mean when it becomes regular, when you become used to it, right? We're creatures of habit. We get used to things. So I talk to the person right now that's going through their period of loneliness, their period of solitude. Understand that it is part of the mission. It's part of the journey. It's what you're supposed to be doing right now. There were times where I can't tell you how many nights I battled just myself. And someone could look at me and say, man, this is induced suffering, like you're just suffering on your own. I said, well, imagine this. Imagine someone telling me I'm just stuck in my own mind, where when I'm not doing these things and I'm doing the things that the external world wants me to do, I'm suffering there too. So where do I go for peace now? So you know where I chose? I chose to fight the internal battle and not use the external as my comfort zone. I got guided to the internal battle because I said, I'd rather just fight this battle. Because if I'm gonna fight somewhere, just let it be with me in solitude. And God was guiding me the whole time. And I always say, even in the midst of the chaos, we are always guided. And you gotta start looking at your life, especially when you start to insulate yourself and you get in solitude. You're gonna have a lot of coincidences come in your life. And you gotta ask yourself, how many coincidences, people, places, things, how many coincidences do you have until you accept them as truth? That there is actually another force leading you. And you can only tap into that in solitude. The smiles that people have a lot are just covering a mask covering a lot of the internal friction and frowns that are behind those. And I only speak from experience. Because what happens is when you don't get to know yourself on a core level in solitude, you have to continuously go from external experience to external experience to external experience to keep yourself happy. You're never calm and situated and grounded in neutrality. See, when you get to a point of solitude and understanding the understanding behind it, you really don't want to get too high or too low. You just kind of keep it neutral. You keep a very calm space. When you live the world in restlessness, you need extremes. So one extreme is to be drugged up, alcohol, around people, friends, things that just, I need it. And the other extreme is drama. You become addicted to drama and solving problems based on the drama in your life. There's no neutral space. So your life becomes a life of extremes. What is the next dopamine rush, or what's the next problem I gotta solve? Especially it might be for somebody else. Because the only way I get satisfaction or feel like I'm worth anything is by solving other people's problems, because I won't solve my own problems. I speak from experience. You can get addicted to solving other people's problems because that's just a direct reflection of what you need to solve internally within yourself. And that's what happens in solitude. See, life is an experience for us to experience, but it's not something for us to figure out. You just experience life. The mysteries of life are beautiful. One of the mysteries of life is us living these experiences. And what I mean by not figuring them out is just going through them and taking inventory of what do I need to do to make myself calm. Like literally, that's a word I want to use. Like, how do I become calm in this human experience? Most people can't sit with themselves for 30 minutes and alone in silence. They have to be doing something. And what has happened in the world is there are many buffers that I talk about that don't allow us to connect with our source, our spirit, our God-centered space, right? And to move with that on a day-to-day basis. And you must get alone without any external impressions to understand that. There have been so many times where I didn't know what was going on, but that was okay. It gets to a point where it has to be okay to not know what's going on. When you know what's going on, when you can pinpoint where to go for mediocrity and suffocation and things that aren't good for you, that's when there's a problem. When you can literally pinpoint, okay, I can go here to, shake my problems off. I can go get drunk here because I got a problem. I can go deal with this person because I need drama. I can go in this relationship because it's toxic. That's the issue. When you get by yourself, sometimes you ain't gonna know where to go. And that's where you actually are on the right path. It's a mind fuck, ain't it? And then that's when you start to breathe and sit in those spaces. Deep meditation. You know what I'm saying? No guided meditation. Deep meditation, you and your thoughts. You and your thoughts. The dark thoughts. The memories, the suppressions, the things that hit your heart. Let them all out. The emotions. I had many nights. Dark room, candle. Figure it out. Go through it. In solitude. Speak to God. Right? And what it did was it built me to a person that speaks solely from experience and the gifts that God gave me and my truth. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be remembered for anything external of me. Cars, clothes, this. No, you're going to remember me for the experiences that I've spoken through and the testimony that I've given, the people I've helped, and what was instilled with me through God that I found out even more and I became confident with through solitude. Right? That's what makes me who I am. That's what makes the G code. It ain't about me talking to you rah rah. Oh yeah, you can do it. Hard work pays off. Man, fuck that. This is some other shit, right? This is the shit that most people don't even know exist on this level on why they are suffering or how they need to get to the next level. Listen, I have super times now. I'm super neutral, but I'm happy. I love life. And it's freeing to know that my life is not predicated on me acquiring any external thing for me to be happy, to me to walk with God. Put me on a farm, put me in a little cottage, put me in a small town, give me a cafe, a vegan wrap. I'll eat it, I'll be good. You feel me? Or the abundance that God's gonna give me that I'm going to use to grow and show what he has done in my life and touch many people, give me that too. Give me a private jet. Give me a huge mansion. I'll fly first class. I'll stay in the nice places. But I'll still speak the gospel of God. I'm not going to make these things who I am. No. Because through solitude is where you learn. You learn these things about yourself, especially men. Men, we have to lead. We have to be leaders. We have to get back to the forefront. But the biggest thing about a man is a man doesn't know himself. A lot of men don't know themselves, right? And how can a woman follow a man that doesn't even know who he is, right? I was that man before. That's why relationships didn't work. I'm all over the place being spread thin because everything that I'm doing is predicated on external. It's nothing internal. How's she gonna follow me? I'm all over the place. Women have a sixth sense for a man that don't know him, don't know himself. Ladies, get to know yourself. Who are you? What do you want to be? right? How are you going to express those things to your man? And I think it's super important for men to be able to lead and speak from a space of authenticity without wavering. If you know nothing, you fall for anything, right? So imagine the biggest thing that you need to know, you know nothing about. Guess how much shit you falling for as a man? The biggest thing you need to know about, which is yourself, you know not much about. Now, let me get back, because we do know some things about ourselves. But when it got down to adulthood, and we had to really learn who we are as men, do we go to the depths of figuring it out? And that's where codependency happens in our relationships. That's where broken families happen in our relationships. That's where women becoming more masculine in relationships, and the narrative of what a woman or a man is supposed to be can be literally flipped by people that don't want to see the families grow, right? So for me, personally, and I go deeper into this in another video, I already know the dynamic. Ain't nobody swaying me on what it is and what it ain't. It is what it is. I know, because I went through that process. Now for me, I've done monk mode. You know, that's where you just literally do nothing but meditate, drink water, no sexual encounters, nothing. I've done that plenty of times. I've done times, no dating, years. You know what I'm saying? I've done times where even just by myself on a regular basis, sitting myself, 30-minute meditation, hours of meditation, days. Like, this is part of my life, right? And I will say that a lot of people will be like, man, you know, you need camaraderie and things of that nature. I have camaraderie. I have a lot of it. I have good friends. I have good relationships with my family. And it's not that much. It's very simple. But all these people that are in my life have been identified as people that are real, because I know myself. I know my truth, so everything around me is true. It's authentic. I'm not second guessing shit, right? Because if I had to second guess it, then it's probably not in alignment with me, and that's okay. It may just be in alignment for somebody else. But if the moment you have to second guess something, and that's the only thing you can learn, or you can only learn these skills and these intuitions through being alone and understand what's for you and what's not for you, and it takes time. That's how you remove drama from your life. I don't have drama. Drama doesn't even make it to my airspace. Like, the level that drama like sits on, it doesn't make it to me. It did at one point in my life. I had a lot of drama. I had business, I had drama, I had this going on. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Why am I in drama? I'm like, just doing a drama dance. I'm like, I'm DJ drama in the club. Like, you feel me? Like, what's going on? And I had to get to a point where, like, I don't have to have that. You don't have to have drama. But to let go of drama, you gotta let go of everything else. To let go of problems, you gotta let go of the things that induce problems. See, look at my hands. Drama, problems. Like, my natural inclination was to put it on the outside. Best believe when I talk about myself, I bring my hands in. Like, you are right here in the middle. Like, you don't have to have those things. But sometimes we get addicted to those things, and they become our life, and our life becomes drama. Our life becomes these things. So you have to sit down to get to the end of this. You have to sit down. Just sit down. Normalize saying no and setting boundaries. And if anyone has a problem with it, let it be their problem, because you have to take care of you. You have to focus on you. There's a reason why you're in solitude. There's a reason why you're single. There's a reason why you're lonely. And it might be because you're chosen. You might be chosen for a bigger picture that you don't see in your life right now. But the reason why you can't get to that bigger picture, because you're supposed to walk alone for a certain period of time, is because you keep denying the walk and going into other paths that aren't for you right now. You're gonna have those paths. I told myself, listen, no disrespect. Like, I can have relationships. I can have all that shit. Like, I can have a lot of friends. I can have many women and stuff like that. I've done that in the past. It didn't bring me any closer to God or my mission. I couldn't speak to you from this space. Listen, I couldn't speak to you from this space right now if I was still doing that. And you probably somebody needs this. They need my testimony. I couldn't speak to you because I was immersed in those things. It didn't allow, it was a nice path. It looked good. It had fucking dandelions and shit, but it wasn't the yellow brick road. I'm on a yellow brick road right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the space. Like, you gotta feel me. Like, I'm literally, energy is shooting up to me right now. Like, all my cells are going crazy. I got energy centers going bananas right now because I literally, when I start speaking the truth, like, I feel it, and I know you feel me. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Because listen, you don't have to. You can go through this world. This your human experience. You don't have to do nothing. I told myself too, I didn't have to do none of this. But when you chose it, it's going to keep calling you. And the hardest thing to do is to not pursue a life that's calling you. Because the phone is going to keep ringing. You got to ask yourself, are you going to answer the call? That's the G code.